चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरुः श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितां च नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे नमो महावदन्याय कृष्णप्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्य नामने गौरतिसे हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. So now today we'll proceed ahead. So already we discussed from chapter 2, verse number 2. I think 3 or 4 days continuously we are discussing the same verse, and indeed it was very important and we learned many lessons. So we'll proceed ahead. The next verse, it is also being spoken by Lord Krishna to Arjuna, who is lamenting so much. So in this verse, Lord Krishna says, Klabyammaiskamah partha naitattvayupapadyate shudram mridadaurabalyam tyaktotishta parantapa. So you can read translation and purport. Yes, any one of you can read. Santosh, you can read. We have two Santosh. One is Santosh Kushwaha and another is Santosh from South India, Naveen's friend.
Okay, sir. O son of Parth, do not yet to this regarding importance. It does not become you give up such petty weakness of heart and arise, O charity sir of the enemy. Purport. Arjuna was addressed as the son of Parth, who happened to be the sister of Krishna's father, Vasudev. Therefore, Arjuna had a blood relationship with Krishna. If the son of Kshatriya declines to fight, he is a Kshatriya in name only. And if the son of Brahmana, Brahmana acts impiously, he is Brahmana in name only. Such Kshatriyas, sir, scroll.
Yes, sir.
Such Kshatriyas and Brahmanas are unworthy sons of their fathers. Therefore, Krishna did not want Arjuna to become an unworthy son of a Kshatriya. Arjuna was the most intimate friend of Krishna, and Krishna was directly guiding him on the chariot. But in spite of all these credits, if Arjuna abandoned the battle, he would be committing an infamous act. Therefore, Krishna said that such an attitude in Arjuna did not fit his personality. Arjuna might agree that
Argu.
he would
Argu.
give up the battle on the grounds of his magnanimous attitude
Magnanimous.
for magnanimous attitude for the most respectable Bhishma and his relatives, but Krishna considered that sort of magnanimity mere mere weakness of heart. Such false magnanimity was not approved by any authority. Therefore, such magnanimity or so-called non-violence should be given up by person like Arjuna under the direct guidance of Krishna.
Yes. So in in the present verse also, Lord Krishna, he is inspiring. He is he is telling Arjuna the same thing, which is connected with the previous verse. We discussed that Arjuna is having qualification, great qualification of being a Kshatriya, not just some ordinary Kshatriya. He was belonging to a very high class Kshatriya, and especially Lord Krishna. That's why he mentioned the name of Arjuna as Partha. Partha means the son of Pritha, and Pritha is Kunti Maharani. Kunti Maharani, she was very famous, and she belonged to a very famous Kshatriya family. And also another point, because Lord Krishna himself is his friend, acting as his chariot driver. And apart from this, Arjuna himself was a very famous warrior, very powerful warrior. He already defeated so many powerful personalities in the past. Even in the battle of Virat, when all the Kauravas they attacked on Virat, so Arjuna alone he defeated all these Kauravas, including Bhishpitama, Duryodhan, Karna, Vikarna, so many. All the great warriors were there. So he alone defeated them. So that was the power of Arjuna. So that is why when he is declining to fight, Lord Krishna is uh, amazed that how can a person like Arjuna could run away from his duty. Because in the past also many situations arised, but Arjuna he did not uh, went back. He did not become so means in lamenting John. He did not give up his duty in spite of all kinds of difficulties. So that is why Lord Krishna he is expecting that Arjuna should not give up his uh, petty weakness of heart and fight with others, with the opposite party. So here, especially this Shudram Hriday Dauravalyam, it's very important. In the first line, I already explained. Klabyam mais gamah partha. Klabyam means impotency. That means Arjuna is coward. So Lord Krishna is saying, do not yield to this degrading impotency. Because Arjuna was a great warrior, he was a Kshatriya. So this was not befitting him. Naitattvaya upapadyate. That's why he says this it does not become you. Means it does not fit your personality. You are not a person like this. Suppose if a very talented student who has always scored 100 out of 100, and in one of such exams he declines to give the exam, then the teacher will be amazed. He will say, why you don't want to give the exam? This does not fit your personality, because you have already in all the exams you have topped. You never you were never defeated. You always got 100 out of 100. So why are you not giving this exam? Why are you going back? So This was one reason why Krishna is telling him to fight. Another reason, Krishna could understand that Arjuna, he is not declining to fight because of uh, cowardness or because of fear from the opposite party. Krishna could understand. That is why Krishna is telling that although I know you are not fearful of opposite party, and you are equally prepared to fight with them. So I'm not saying that you are fearful. I know this, but whatever reasons you have for not fighting, and you have also explained all those reasons in the first chapter. Arjuna explained. So Krishna is saying whatever reasons you have explained with reference to scriptures also, although all these reasons are just a weakness of your heart. Don't think that you are so magnanimous. This is not magnanimity. That because of which don't think that this is your greatness. That is why you don't want to fight with them, considering them to be your relatives, and means your teachers, fathers-in-laws, grandfathers, grandparents, so many different relatives you mentioned. So this is not your greatness, rather this is your weakness of heart. Why Krishna is telling this, that this is your weakness of heart? Can anybody say why Lord Krishna here is telling Arjuna? Although in the last chapter, Arjuna gave 5 reasons for not fighting, and we discussed in very great detail in last 10-15 days that all those reasons were very valid reasons. These were not something emotional reasons like we give sometimes. Suppose if a child, he does not want to study, then he gives very emotional reasons to his parents or mothers or father why he don't want to study. He may say, I am feeling headache, I have fever, I am tired, I am hungry. So many different nonsense reasons the child gives. And parents, they very easily understand that this is all his nonsense reasons. But he still there, somehow or other inspires him. But Arjuna is not giving such kinds of reasons, emotional reasons. Neither he is giving intellectual reasons also. Whatever reasons he gave, those were scriptural reasons. And he himself said that I have heard these things from my authorities, bona fide authorities. But still, Krishna, he is saying that whatever reasons you have given, don't think that these reasons you don't want to fight. This is your greatness. This is not your greatness. This is just your weakness of heart. Yes, now the question is why Krishna is telling this, that this is your weakness of heart. This is not proper reason to decline the fight. Yes. Yes, Shivam bro.
Hare Krishna, Babuji.
Hare Krishna.
Babuji, uh, this is the reason that uh, maybe this is the reason that he is not performing his duty. He is just don't want to perform his duty. That's why Krishna said that this is the weakness of your heart.
Okay, very nice. This is one reason. Very nice. So this is one of the reason, good reason, that although so many reasons he gave, but Arjuna, he forgot that his duty is to fight, to protect the to protect dharma. Even if, and it is the duty of a kshatriya, that even if his own relatives uh, they become opposite to him, to the religious principles, then they must also be killed. They must also be he must also fight with them. Just like simple example I'll give. Suppose if a son of a superintendent of police, if he commits some crime, so will the SP forgive him, forgive his child? Should he forgive his child, thinking that, oh, he is my very affectionate child, only once he has committed some crime, so let me forgive him? Or suppose the father of SP commits some crime, should SP forgive him, the father? What should he do? Yes,
They should give the proper punishment to him.
yeah. He can have sympathy. He can. It's not like that. He becomes very angry upon him. Okay, but he must execute his duty even unwillingly. He must put his father into the jail, and he must properly execute his duty. And he can also try in a bona fide manner, in an authorized manner. He can try to save his father or try to reduce his punishment. That is another point, another thing. But he cannot just neglect his duty. He cannot try to hide the mistakes or crimes done by his father. That is improper, isn't it? Suppose a judge who has to give judgment, and if the criminal who is there involved in this in some criminal activity, the criminal is his own son, then the judge has to give the punishment according to rules and regulations. That is his duty, although it will be very difficult for him. That is a great toughest job. But if he simply says that no, I'll not give him punishment because he is my son, he has always very nicely obeyed my instructions from childhood, he never went against me, how can I punish him? And suppose if a judge if his teacher is there or his father is there and they have committed some criminal activity, then also if the judge is sitting on the position of the judge, then what he should do? He cannot say that these are my great superiors, this father, this teacher, they have given me all education, they have always affectionately uh, dealt with me, so how can I give them punishment? So that sympathy may be there, but he has to execute his duty. If he does not execute his duty, that is the weakness of heart. You understood? Although the reason why he is not desiring to give punishment to his own father or teacher or son is very valid reason. It's not that he out of fear or out of some means some he is simply because of affection, which is a valid reason. He is not desiring to give them punishment, but this will be known as weakness of heart. So this is one reason, very nice. But apart from this, there is one very important reason, and which is more deeper and which is spiritual in nature, and which is very important for all of us. So can anyone guess? Yes, Umang.
Prabhuji, I think only the Supreme Lord told him to fight. That's why he have to fight.
Yeah, very nice. So this is the most important reason, because Arjuna should understand who is telling him to fight, who is involving him in this battlefield of Kurukshetra, and it is Lord Krishna. And he should also understand who is Lord Krishna, what is his relationship with the Lord. That he must understand, that he has to take into consideration. Right now he is only thinking that these are my relatives, this Bhish Pitama, Dronachar, they have from my childhood they have helped me to grow. They have from my childhood they have given me all affection, love, care. So because of them only I was able to be all Pandavas, we were able to grow up. Otherwise Dhritarashtra and Duryodhana, they were always bent toward killing us. But these Bhish Pitama, Dronacharya, they have given us full support. So how can I kill them? So this was his consideration. But he forgot. He was only thinking that Krishna, who is Krishna? Krishna is only my one friend, like we have many friends. So because of ignorance, he is not understanding that Krishna is my supreme Lord, and I have eternal relationship with him. And Lord Krishna, he has given me so much support, affection, all the facilities, not only in this life, but from time immemorial, from many lives. Whatever I am doing in this world, whatever facilities, whatever material sense gratification, and even for my spiritual advancement, It's all done by the Supreme Lord, Lord Krishna. And at present also, he has come with us. He doesn't have any business to get involved in the fight between we brothers. He has come from Dwarka. Why? Because he wants our welfare and he is our Supreme Lord. So I must obey his order. And second thing, the relation of Arjuna with Bhishma Pitama is not that much important and that much deeper as compared to relationship of Lord Krishna with Bhishma Pitama. Because Lord Krishna, the relationship of Bhishma, Drona, Arjuna, Pandavas, Duryodhan, all the living entities with Lord Krishna is eternal, is more deeper, unbreakable. And the Supreme Lord Krishna, he knows what is better for every living entity. So Arjuna should not have thought like this, that I know what is better for Bhishma Pitama, what is better for Dronachar, and Lord Krishna is unnecessarily engaging me in this battlefield. He does not know. He is just my contemporary, an outsider person. Like this. So this is because of lack of knowledge, misconception, ignorance. That is why Lord Krishna, understanding this attitude of Arjuna, this understanding that Arjuna is overcome by this ignorance, this bodily conception of life, he has forgotten the eternal self. That is why Lord Krishna will start speaking science of soul from text number 13, and will definitely go very scientifically when we'll come to that verse, those verses. So this is the another reason. Okay, now these two reasons are most important one, and there may be others smaller reason also why Lord Krishna is telling weakness of heart. Like Arjuna is addressed as Pritha, son of Pritha, and he is also a great warrior. He was also a great warrior. We already discussed this. So now we should learn this few important lessons from these two reasons. The first reason was that, which Shivam Prabhu gave, that it was Arjuna's duty even on material platform. Even if Arjuna is thinking that I'm not spirit soul, I'm this body only, and I have no relationship with the Supreme Lord, still, because he was a Kshatriya, it was his duty. And we discussed that with the example of a judge and a policeman. So I hope you could understand this reason. So now the question arises, what lesson do we learn from this? How we also sometimes get stuck into weakness of heart in executing our duties, and where many times we also give, we don't give, our mind gives many reasons why not to execute our duties. And then what happens? We neglect our duties with the reasons given by the mind. Yes, can anybody say what are the what lessons can we learn from this, and what experience we also have in this connection? How is a similar situation like Arjuna's over here? Yes, you can give some examples, any one of you.
Hare Krishna
Yes, Umang.
Prabhuji.
Wait, Umang, wait.
Like,
Apart from you and Shivam, somebody else should speak now. Then afterwards, you can also speak. Rest of you are also able to understand what we discussed till now. Yes, those who have understood, please raise your hand. Okay. Who else has understood whatever we discussed till now? The two reasons why Lord Krishna is telling Arjuna that this is weakness of heart. Only one, only Divyanshu has understood. And yes, Nikhil. Hare Krishna, Nikhil.
Hare Krishna Prabhu ji.
Did you get the point what we discussed till now?
Ji Prabhu ji.
Achha, okay. So now you, Divyanshu and Nikhil, both of you can share something. How we also sometimes face the same situation. What is the situation? that because of some reasons we don't execute our duties even in material platform, and those reasons are not the valid reasons, even though it may appear to be valid reasons, but those are actually weaknesses of our heart, weakness of our heart. Yes.
हरे कृष्ण गुरु जी।
Yes, Divyanshu.
मैं अपने लाइफ के दो मतलब एक्सपीरियंस आपको बताता हूँ। एक बार मतलब कॉलेज की मतलब फर्स्ट सेम के ही एग्जाम्स की बात करते हैं। तो मतलब कॉलेज में जब मैं आया था तो मेरा मतलब पढ़ाई करने का बिल्कुल मन नहीं था। मतलब मेरे को ऐसा लगता था 12th के बाद मैं पढ़ाई नहीं करूँगा, लेकिन अनफॉर्चुनेटली मेरे को ऐसा करना पड़ा। और मैं कॉलेज में जैसे आया तो मुझे बिल्कुल भी पढ़ाई करने का मन नहीं था। तो फर्स्ट सेम के जो एग्जाम थे तो उस टाइम पे मतलब मेरी ज़्यादा प्रिपरेशन नहीं थी। तो एग्जाम्स को मैं टालने के लिए बहुत ज़्यादा कुछ सोचा था कि नहीं देते क्या दिक्कत है, मतलब मिड सेम 3 दे देंगे। तो उस टाइम पे मेरे को खुद से मतलब बहुत सारे वैलिड रीजन है, लेकिन फिर मैंने
कुछ रीजंस आप शेयर करिए, कैसे कैसे रीजंस थे?
सर से पूछा, सर क्या मैं मिड सेम 3 दे दूंगा? तो सर ने कहा कि ये गलत है। हाँ, तो ऐसे डांट के मैं अपने मतलब एग्जाम दिया। फिर चाहे कोई भी रिजल्ट आया हो, मैंने उसमें शायद 0 ही पाया था, जो भी हुआ हो, लेकिन तभी मैंने एग्जीक्यूट किया अपना रिजल्ट मतलब ड्यूटी। तो मतलब ऐसे होते हैं कभी कभी आते सर्कमस्टेंसेस।
No, yes, okay, I understood. You try to run away from your duty in the first semester. You were
यस सर।
supposed to give your exams, you were supposed to study, but you somehow or other, with the some of the so-called valid reasons given by the mind, you tried to avoid. But afterwards, when the teacher explained, then you gave the exam also. But I'm asking, yes, this is very wonderful example. This is one of the examples. Like this, there are many examples, many experiences every one of us have in day-to-day life also. If you just consider entire day, you will find so many things you were supposed to do. Those were your duties, but somehow or other this mind gave some reasons which appeal to us. Yeah, this is valid reason, this is reasonable reason, and we tried to avoid the duties, isn't it? But those were not actually valid reasons. Those were only, even though those reasons may be valid reasons, but those should be accepted as weakness of our heart, because we are running away from our duty. Yes, just like you gave you you did not prepare for the exam, so you might have thought that, okay, this comes in everyone's every student thinks like this, that because you have in your college you have the option that you can give your mid-sem exam third time also. So you must have thought, your mind must have thought, okay, right now don't force too much, we'll gradually study one by one, step by step, and when we have completed all the syllabus perfectly, then I'll give the exam, isn't it? Or something else,
यस
some
सर।
other reason were there why you did not give your exam, mid-sem exam? Yes, Divyanshu?
यही थी कि यही था कि प्रिपरेशन अच्छे से नहीं थी, तो इसी वजह से मतलब लगता था कि नहीं देने चाहिए, नहीं देने चाहिए।
Yes. So mind was giving. I'm just taking your example. Don't take it personally, because we are discussing some very important principles. That is why I'm so much elaborating upon your examples. But you will be able to
ओके
very nicely understand this point. So you first of all, the when you came into the first year, so your mind was giving reasons. What reasons for not studying? What reasons the mind was giving? That till now, till 12th class you have studied so much, now you have entered into the college first semester, now you must at least for first year, first 2 1 2 3 semesters, you should enjoy, you should not bother so much about studies. So it appeals it appears that this is very valid reason, because from last 12 13 years we have studied so much, so now we should get some break also, 1 2 semester, and no problem, after this one semester I'll study hard and I'll get good marks. So this appears very valid reason, but we are
यस
running away from our duty. And the second one you said, initially you means you avoided studying, and then afterward when exams came near, then what mind gave the reason? The mind said, okay, because you have not prepared nicely till now, so what you do, you should give third mid same, and till that time you can prepare nicely, because and you can prepare, and when you are perfectly done with your preparation, then in third semester, third mid sem, you will give the nice exams, and then you will get good marks also. So this also appears a valid reason, and but this is also a weakness of heart, and because right now also we are running from our duty. And this is one of few one example I took from you only explained. But similarly, all of you can think about such instances in your life where you found that although something was required for you to execute your duty, but somehow or other, this mind, because of weakness of heart, this mind gave various so-called valid reasons, and because of which we could not execute our duty, and later on we had to become frustrated, like Arjuna. Although he gave so many valid reasons to Krishna, very nice logical reasons, but what was the result after giving all these reasons? After he was put into the lamentation zone. If suppose, if you have all the valid reasons to avoid your some task, then you should not be put into lamentation zone. Then why you are becoming frustrated? If if you are getting frustration out of it, that means all those so-called valid reasons were not actually your valid reasons, but those were all just weakness of your heart, which were forcing you to avoid your duties. And that is why it is recommended you should not avoid your duties. In the discharge of your duties, Lord Krishna in the 14th verse he will explain that so many difficulties may come and go. Matra sparsastu kaunteya sitoshna sukha dukkhada agama payano nitya stantikichasa bharata. Lord Krishna says this is at the material platform. So Lord Krishna says so many difficulties may arise, just like if a household wife, see, it is her duty to cook. So she has to cook even in the month of May and June in North India and in Central India also. In the month of May and June, it is very hot, but the lady, it is her duty to cook in the afternoon. She cannot avoid. She cannot say right now it's very hot, I'll only cook in the night, midnight I'll cook. No. So that is why Lord Krishna, similarly, Lord Krishna says, the example is given as a devotee, a saintly devotee who is taking to the process of Krishna consciousness. It is required he should take daily bath. So even in the month of December, January, he should take bath. He should not avoid his duty. He should chant Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Similarly, for students like us, we are practicing Krishna consciousness also along with our studies, jobs. So sometimes when your exams will come, so it is your duty to chant Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, although there is exams. So mind may give many so-called valid reasons, but and we have experienced many devotees. Sometimes a devotee, when he when if an exam is coming, so he tries to avoid chanting. Then what happens with so many valid reasons? But what happens afterwards? After 1 or 2 days, he experiences so much frustration because he's not chanting his rounds, his Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. So he feels frustration. So if you are avoiding some duty, some of your work or task, with so many valid reasons, then you must not get into the trouble. You must not get frustrated. If you are getting frustrated, that means those reasons were not actually reasons. Those were only weakness of heart, and which should be avoided. Those weakness of heart should be overcome by guidance of some senior personality who are mature in the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. So we can avoid, just like Arjuna. Although he is overcome by weakness of heart, Lord Krishna is explaining him. But what Arjuna will do? He will not continue with this weakness of heart. He will immediately surrender to the Supreme Lord. And when Lord Krishna will give proper knowledge, then Arjuna will defeat this weakness of heart, he will overcome this weakness of heart, and he will start fighting. So that is the proper duty we should do. Okay. So now we'll come to the second reason, which is even more important. So look over here. Whatever till now we discussed, so we can very nicely understand this very simple principle that the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita even helps to execute our material duties properly, isn't it? It's not that many people they think that if we read Bhagavad Gita, if we get knowledge of spirituality, then we leave all our duties. No. Rather, if a person who doesn't have the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, he tries to avoid his material duties also. And we can see in all the fields, a student, he does not want to study. He tries to avoid his studies. Only with extreme anxiety, tension, and force external stress, he is forced to study. But otherwise, nobody is willing to study as a matter of duty. A person who is doing job, especially government jobs, what they do? They try to avoid their duties. They try to just do the minimum so that they can just have their job in their hand. That much they want to do. So that is why we have so many resources, so many millions and trillions of people are there. But why still people are suffering? Why still advancement is not happening? Because of this. Because people do not want to work. They do not want to execute their duties. Why? Because lack of proper knowledge, because of weakness of heart, because their mind gives so many so-called valid reasons to avoid their duties. That is why they are not able to execute their duties. So if a person who wants to become very responsible materially also, as a student, as a working person, employee, as a husband, as a wife, as a son, whatever may be the his background, he can only execute all his duties properly when he is able to overcome all these weaknesses of heart. And to overcome all these weaknesses of heart, he has to acquire proper knowledge by which he can distinguish all these mental concoctions, all these uh, so-called valid reasons given by the mind. When he can discriminate these so-called valid reasons given by the mind, then he will be able to execute his material duties also, isn't it? Now we will come back to our second point. uh, the second point, which is more important even, because we already discussed, we are not this material body. Second point was, which Umang gave, that the second point was that because Lord Krishna is telling to fight Arjuna, so this fighting by the Arjuna, when Arjuna fights properly, executes his duty, that becomes his devotional service to the Lord. And that fighting, that killing business of Arjuna will liberate him from this material world, because this is bhakti. Similarly, we also, we have, it's not only that Arjuna, Krishna is only friend of Arjuna. It's not that Krishna is having eternal relationship with Arjuna only. Every living entity is eternally related with the Supreme Lord. So, because we are eternally related with the Supreme Lord and we are living, sustaining our life on His mercy, He is giving us support from time immemorial. Although we don't know, because of ignorance, we are not able to recognize. But even if a person does not know out of ignorance that Supreme Lord Krishna, He is giving us support, maintenance, all the facilities, resources, intelligence, knowledge, everything He is providing us, so that we can sustain in this life, live nicely and fulfill our desires. Although we are not able to directly recognize, a person who is who is ignorance may not be able to directly perceive these things. But if one simply develops a very little intelligence, he can understand this fact. Because for our sustenance, for our maintenance, what we need air, oxygen, we need water, we need food grains, we need place to stay, and we need so much facilities, we need knowledge, we need so many raw materials from material nature, so many things we require. And all these facilities, all these resources, who is providing? It's a very logical thing. Our mother, father, our prime minister, president, or any of the personality within this world, they are not providing. Rather, they themselves are in requirement of these resources. So who is providing all these resources? It is very logical. Very logically, one can conclude, even if he does not know that Krishna is the Supreme Lord, but one can very logically understand this, that my life, the most means all these facilities are being provided by God. So it is who has always given me all kind of protection and care when I was within the womb of my mother. So who was feeding me? My mother, father, or anyone else? Who was sustaining my life within the womb of my mother? Who was growing my body within the womb? And even when I come out of the womb and live in this life, who is growing my body? Who is feeding me? Who is digesting my food within the stomach? Who is providing me energy? And when I forget something, who is reminding me? Who is giving me intelligence and knowledge from within? Yes, who is that person? It is indeed Supreme Lord, God, because a mother does not know how the child is growing within the womb. She is completely unaware of the child. She simply eats and she doesn't know what is the condition of the child. But the Supreme Lord knows, and He is taking care of us in every situation. So His care, His love, and His affection for us is more than anyone else within this world, isn't it? So that is why our eternal relationship with Him is more important, and to follow His instructions are more important. Although that does not mean that we should neglect our material duties. I am not saying this, and neither Lord Krishna says this thing. He never said to Arjuna that you leave everything. You leave your wife, you leave your children, you leave your parents, you leave this kingdom, and you just only come with me. No, Lord Krishna never said like this. But the teaching is very important. This understanding is very important for us. So that while executing our material duties also, we can properly understand the philosophy of Krishna consciousness and properly um, serve Lord, Supreme Lord. So this is very much important. Yes. So that is why this reason, second reason, that Arjuna should fight. Similarly, with the case, if we compare with ourselves, if we uh, Arjuna's situation. So Arjuna here, Lord Krishna is saying this is weakness of heart, because that Arjuna should understand that all those reasons which he gave may be a valid reasons, but it does not. All these reasons cannot be cannot be cannot stand in front of our this point that we are he is eternal companion of the Supreme Lord, and he has to follow what Lord Krishna is saying. Similarly, we should also execute our duties. And in terms of uh, the second reason, which is spiritual and which is our eternal relation with the Supreme Lord, our duty is to try to get connected to the Supreme Lord as far as possible, to try to associate with him in whatever condition of our life. Whatever be the condition of our life, this duty, which is a spiritual duty, we should never give up. We discussed these two reasons. So one reason is regarding material duties, because we have material body also, but this material body is not permanent. It has been given to us for some period of time. Like you are a student of some college, engineering college, so you are there for 4 years. So your duty is to follow the rules and regulations given by the college, but only for these 4 years. Once you have passed out of the college, then you need not to follow the rules and regulation of the college, because you are passed out from the college. Then you need not to have 75% attendance. In our college, we used to have this compulsory 75% attendance, otherwise the student will not be able to give exams. So every student, they used to rush, and there is some proxy, they used to various means they used to increase their attendance. But once you have passed out of the college, you don't require this thing. Why? Because you changed your connection with the college was temporary. But when you are in the college, you have to follow this rules regulation. But while living in the college also, you cannot disconnect yourself from your father, mother, or brother, because your relationship with father, mother, and brother is in this connection, in this situation, is eternal for your entire life. This is not temporary. But your relation in the college is temporary. So you have to execute both the duties. You cannot avoid any of the duties. Rather, the second one, your relation with the father, mother, and brother, is more important. I hope you are able to understand. Similarly, our this body in which we are living, so this is a temporary body. This for temporary period of time, short period of time, this body is given. So till the time we are in this body, we have to execute this material duties also. We cannot avoid, and if we get the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, we can even very nicely execute these duties also. But more important than this duties is spiritual duties, which is connected with our own self, the soul. Okay, so this duty, this spiritual duties, should never be avoided in any circumstances. In this life also, next life also, always. And those spiritual duties are chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, reading Bhagavad Gita, associating with devotees, sadhu sangha, which is known as sadhu sangha. Right now, what you are doing, this is a sadhu sangha. Associating with devotees means to hear from the devotees about the Supreme Lord, about the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. So this is our duty. So we should not avoid this duty, even if mind gives many various reasons to avoid these duties, and those reasons may be very valid reasons also. Okay. So I hope you got this point. Does anyone has any questions regarding this to ask? Yes, anyone is having any question?
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yes, Divyanshu.
सर सर मतलब मैंने अपने फ्रेंड से बात की, तो मतलब एक दो क्वेश्चन उसने मेरे से पूछे, तो मेरे को उसके आंसर नहीं पता थे, तो मैं आपसे पूछता हूँ.
अच्छा, Divyanshu, 1 minute. This question I'll take, but at last I'll take, because right now I want any questions if you have, any of you, regarding what I discussed now, and I'll definitely take your question at the last. Is it okay?
Okay, sir.
Huh? Okay. Yes. Anyone else has any question regarding what we discussed till now? Yes, Shivam.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, I have a question, but not regarding this. Uh,
Okay, not regarding this.
as
Then you
stated in Bhagavad Gita.
wait for some
Yes,
time.
Prabhuji.
Yes. Anyone else has any question what we discussed today?
Yes, Prabhuji, I have.
Yes, Umang.
Prabhuji, how we can decide that this duty is more important than that other duty? How we can arrange the order of duties?
Okay, which duty? This is spiritual duty.
No, Prabhuji. Some like many duties. There are many duties in our life that one is important and other is not important from that. So how we can arrange these duties?
Okay, you want to
Like
ask how I can prioritize my duties, which is
Ji
more
Prabhuji.
important. We should be executed. We should not be. I think this is no. You are asking.
Ji
Means
Prabhuji.
in case of if I have to avoid some duties, which duties I can avoid, which duties I must execute. This is what you want to ask.
Ji Prabhuji.
Otherwise, you can give examples, because your question is not that much clear. It is a general question. You give some examples, then it will be easy.
Prabhuji, 1 minute. I can think and examples. Then I
Okay, you
tell you.
think till the time. I'll try to answer this question. I have already explained that you have two kinds of duties. One duty is connected with this body, because you are having this body right now. So any duty which is in relation with the body, that is called material duties. Like you are son of somebody, you are brother of somebody, you are a student, you are if you are working, then you are employee, you are Indian, you are even you are human being. That is all material duty. This is also, so all these responsibilities, like you are son, you are a student, you are employee, you are Indian, you are a human being. So these are all your these relationships, and whatever duties are connected with these relationships, these are all material duties, and which you have to execute. You cannot avoid, because you have taken this material body. But more important than this is your duties. Your duty means, because you are soul, the duties in relationship with the spirit soul, and that is in connection with the Supreme Lord. And I already explained the duty is to follow the instructions of the Supreme Lord in the Bhagavad Gita. And Lord Krishna very clearly says, you chant my name, man mana bhavu mad bhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru, that you get connected me. You chant. The chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra, reading Bhagavad Gita, attending, associating with devotees is my spiritual duties, which should not be given up. But there may be situations, like if suppose if you are a student, you have so many, you have exams to give. So you can focus on your exams, there's no problem. But at the same time, you chant also. You remain connected with the Supreme Lord. You understood? Just like Nitish is here. Yes, Nitish, are you hearing me? Hare Krishna, Nitish. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Guruji.
Nitish, you are preparing for medical exam, isn't it?
Yes, yes,
Yeah,
yes,
you are in Kota.
yes.
Okay, so like Nitish, so he has more important this duty to prepare for his medical exams. He may be in 11th or 12th class, so he has to give medical exam. So he can focus more on his medical exams, given medical exams, but he should not also not he should not forget that he is actually a spirit soul, and he has an eternal more important duty towards the Supreme Lord. This is more important duty. But right now, because he is preparing for medical exams, he has to give exams, he can focus more on giving preparing for the exams, and side by side he can chant also, because it does not take much time. He can chant for 15-20 minutes or whatever is possible for him. You can chant and be connected, whatever is possible. You can means hear some of the classes, you attend these classes if possible. But in the mind you should always keep this idea that my eternal duty is spiritual duties. And as soon as, because this medical exams after 1 or 2 years, he'll give the exam, and then he'll come to the college. In college, although there will be studies, but at least he will have some relaxation, and he can then gradually prepare for his college exam, college medical college, and he can prepare to become doctor, no problem with this. But then he can also increase his devotion toward the God more. And right now also, whatever is practical for him, you can do chanting, you can attend the classes. And rest of the students who are here, they are mostly college students. In college, you have ample amount of time. You can devote your so much time for practicing Krishna consciousness also, because we know, we have observation, most of the students in college, what they do, they waste their time in so many bad things. So instead of a devotee, instead of wasting his time in so many nonsense activities, he utilizes all those times to practice Krishna consciousness. That is why in college, devotees are able to chant even 16 rounds daily with no problem. I myself, all the 3.5 years, more than 3.5 years in the college life, I chanted 16 rounds without any difficulty. Even during the exam days also, because our exams used to happen only 20 marks, and end-term exam was 40 marks. So that was not so much pressure was there. So we could do 16 out of chanting also, and Mangala Arati also, and classes of Bhagavad Gita also very easily. And practically, average student wastes his time for 4 and 5 hours of a day. Every college, especially engineering students, they waste their time. So a devotee is intelligent. He executes his duties properly. So okay, you can also, if somebody is chanting 16 rounds, 10 rounds, 12, whatever rounds, you can gradually increase. I'm not saying you just increase rapidly, but you can, if you just be connected, you associate with devotees, you can gradually increase your number of rounds, and that will not actually hamper your studies. You will be, rather you will be able to focus more on your studies, because then you will be, if you are chanting more, then you will be free from the bad thoughts, negativity, and then you can be able to focus more on your studies also, isn't it? Okay, yes, Umang, is your question clear?
जी प्रभु जी.
Okay, so anyone else has any question right now?
Guruji, what is 16 rounds?
Yeah,
Didn't
16
understand.
round means we chant this Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Ram Ram Hare Hare. So this one mantra when you chant, this is called one mantra, and such
Yes.
108 mantras when you chant, this becomes one
Yes.
round. Okay,
Okay.
and such 16 rounds we chant daily.
What is the position in which we chant in specific position है कुछ मतलब
No, no,
chant
that
करने का या फिर ऐसे
no,
ही
no. Position
जनरल?
is any position you can chant while sitting. You can chant while walking also, and you can
Hmm.
count. Generally, we have beats,
Okay.
having
हाँ.
108 beats. But if you don't have beat,
Yes.
then you can
Yes.
count in your fingers also. That is there is no
Okay.
problem for this. And try to chant a little loudly. Don't chant in your
Okay.
mind. You chant
Okay.
like
Okay.
what I am chanting right now. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. This one thing you have to do. You have to speak little loudly so that you can hear. And another point is important that you, when you are chanting Hare Krishna, then each and every word you try to hear. That is important. You did not to
Okay.
imagine the form of the Lord. You did not to meditate upon Lord Krishna, because that is difficult.
Okay.
You cannot do, and we need not to do, because this sound vibration when we say Hare Krishna, so you just hear this Hare Krishna. This is as good as meditating upon Supreme Lord Krishna, because this I have already
Okay.
explained in 2 3 days back, that Lord Krishna has invested all his potential in his name, so his name becomes non-different from him. So when you vibrate your tongue Hare Krishna, and then you just hear the sound vibration, it is as good as associating with the Lord. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Yes,
We
anyone
have
else
to
has
do.
yeah,
We
Nitish?
have to do this in one round, or means at a one single time, or we can do in different times a day, means part
Yeah,
wise
different times in a day
round.
you can do. There's no problem with this.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, suppose if
Thank you, Guruji.
take
हाँ.
for example, like if you are chanting 6 round daily, so you can chant
Okay.
in the morning 2 round. It will take only 15 minutes to chant 2 rounds. It takes
Yes. Yes.
7.5 minutes to chant 1 round. So if you
हाँ.
chant 2 rounds in the morning, immediately after
Hmm.
getting up from the bed, you just
Yes.
even without bath also you can chant. There is no restriction over this
Okay.
also. It's not that
Okay.
you have to take bath to chant. You can chant 2 rounds
Okay.
in the morning, afternoon after the
Yes.
lunch also you can, while walking you can chant 2 rounds, and then even in the
Okay.
evening before sleep you can chant 2 rounds. In this way you can chant easily chant 6 rounds, and then
6 rounds.
sometimes you are free, you can chant more. Sometimes suppose what happens, if you are studying for long periods of time, for 4 hours, 5 hours,
Yes.
then mind does not becomes absorbed more, then you feel little tired, then you can utilize
Yes.
for next half an hour you chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra, read Bhagavad Gita, then again come go back to your study table and study. There's no problem.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay,
Thank
very
you,
good.
Guruji.
Okay. Yes, anyone else is having any question? No? Okay, then Divyanshu, you can ask what you wanted to ask.
Okay, Guru.
Yes, Nitish, you
My
want to ask
question,
something?
No, Guruji.
Okay, okay. Yes, Divyanshu.
sir, just like a little girl, she may crushed by a truck. Mm,
Okay.
she done nothing sinful activities or neither um, any duties in his life. But she killed by
She
a truck.
accident. Okay.
Mm,
Okay, I
uh,
understood. So what is the question? Why she is
so
killed?
sir, yes sir, मतलब
So
कहते हैं ना
what?
कि पुनर्जन्म में जो करते हैं मतलब वो उसका फल कभी ना कभी भोगना पड़ता है फलाना मतलब, लेकिन
Yes.
मतलब उसने तो इस जन्म में कुछ किया ही नहीं, मतलब तब भी उसकी मतलब ऐसे
Yeah, yeah.
हो गई डेथ.
Okay, I understood this question. Yeah, this question is asked by your friend, isn't it? Or yeah,
यस
it
सर.
is your question. Okay, your friend asked this question. Okay, so your answer is correct. This is because of his previous karma. In her previous life, she committed some sinful act, because of which she got such kind of means accidental death. And one may
Uh,
argue that because uh, she has taken a new body and she has forgotten also what she did in the previous life, so why she is punished right now? She has not done any sinful activity, then why she is punished? But this is very simple reason. Like I'll give one example. Suppose you are all student, so after at the end of the year you give exams. Okay, So suppose if a student, if you don't study throughout the year and only before the exam for 1 week you just study, so will that your study make sure that you will top the exam? No, you cannot say to the teacher that for the last 1 week I have been studying 16 hours a day. Why I am getting only 40 out of 100? No, you cannot say, because the entire year you wasted your time, and this for 1 week only you studied, so you cannot expect to get full marks. Similarly, a living entity who has done so much sinful activity in his so many previous lives, but in this life he may be doing pious activities, that does not make all those sinful activities committed in the past life null and void. No, although whatever pious activities, good activity one is doing in this life, he will also get the result for those good activities, he will get good results also. But those previous sinful activities which has he has done, he has to get punishment for that. Okay, I'll give one more example, then it will be more clear. Suppose if a person, he enters into a mall, and he is wearing a red t-shirt and jeans. Okay, and he enters into a mall and he steals a laptop and he runs away, just runs away. And then security guard, they run behind him, and he tries to he just goes away, he's running very fast. And after some time, what happens, he enters into a another shop of cloth, and there he purchases pant, shirt, coat, suit, hat, everything. And immediately he dresses himself with pant, shirt and coat, and then he comes out of the shop. So then if the security guard, the policeman or the guards who are running after him, if they catch him, will they not punish him? Will they leave him? Because now he is not wearing red t-shirt and jeans pant, he is now changed his dress. Can he say, the person who has stolen the laptop, can he say that no, no, I don't know, you show me the camera where I have stolen, you give the proof. And then this policeman, they show this what they have recorded in the mall, in the camera. They show the video how this person enters with red t-shirt and jeans pant and runs away with a laptop. So the person who has stolen, he'll say, no, just see, he is wearing red t-shirt and jeans pant, although I myself is there, but this is my previous dressing, you cannot catch me. Similarly here also, because spirit soul, a living entity, is the same. He has only changed the dress. In her previous dress he was having the body of some other body, in which body he committed so many sinful activity. Now he has changed the dress and he has taken the body of a dress of a small girl, but that will not forgive his sinful activity. He has to get the punishment. Okay, one cannot avoid in this way the punishment. So that the child is not innocent. In this life she has not done any mistake, but her previous karma, bad karma is there. Okay, is it okay,
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Divyanshu?
Uh,
Okay, and one
sir,
more thing you can tell him, that there are different actions and reaction. Generally in physics we study every action has equal and opposite reaction. This is true, but in physics what we study, at the same time simultaneously the action is performed and the reaction is given. But in our life what happens, every action has equal and opposite reaction, that is true, but the time may be varying in nature. Like there are many karma, many actions, the result of which we can immediately get. And there may be some karma, some actions for which the result will come after 1 year, after some karma for after 10 years. And there are certain karma, certain actions, sinful activities for which the result comes after lifetime, after in the next life. Just like I gave the example, if you do not study the entire year, then the result will come after 1 year. If you eat something bad, something means something very cold, then after 2 3 days you get the result. you get the cold and cough. And suppose if somebody is drinking too much, is smoking too much, so he may get the result after 20 years, 30 years. So in this way we can understand like this, that there are different kinds of actions, sinful activities, for which we get reaction, bad results, equal and opposite, but the time may be different. Okay, so this is a logical, it's not illogical. Okay, Divyanshu.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Yes, who else was asking? Last question we'll take. Shivam bro, you wanted to ask something, no?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes, Shivam.
Prabhuji, as stated in Bhagavad Gita that human beings or we are not the doer.
Yes.
The doer is Krishna. But sometimes we see that uh, something that we are not doing, just like digestion or breathing, but some things are there in our lives that we are doing, just like uh, we are studying or we are uh, performing our duties. So
Yeah, okay, I
how can we
understood your
relate
question.
these things
Okay.
with?
Yes, yes. So like suppose if you are studying, so even to study you require light. To study you require eye to see. So this eye, this light, who is providing? You have not manufactured it. And to understand the study which you are studying, to understand it you require intelligence, and that intelligence is also gifted, is given by God. So in this way, we are not the doer, God is the only doing.
But but Prabhuji, still we are doing something.
No, you are not doing, you are desiring to do, and God is providing resources and He is helping you to do those activities, to fulfill your desire. Okay, suppose what examples you gave, it is also this is uh, logically we can understand, this is all the resources are given by the Supreme Lord. Even to blink your eyelid, even to blink your eyelid, even to lift your hand, even to speak, that right now I am speaking, so I may think I am speaking, I am lifting my hand. No, I want to speak, I desire to speak, or similarly I want to lift my hand, but this is done by the power is given by the Supreme Lord. He is situated within my heart as Paramatma. So until unless He sanctions, I cannot lift my hand. That is why we find, so sometimes a person gets paralyzed, and even if he wants to lift his hand, he cannot lift his hand. Why? Because the Supreme Lord Paramatma sitting within his heart has is not sanctioning now that you cannot lift your hand now. So he cannot lift, even though he is desiring. That is why paralysis, there is no medical reason for this. Even the scientists and doctors, they don't know why this person is getting paralyzed, the reason, but we know the reason. The reason is Supreme Lord is not sanctioning, simple reason. Okay.
Okay, Prabhuji.
Okay. Okay. Hare Krishna, thank you very much for attending today's class discussion on Bhagavad Gita. Okay, thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.